Hi there, it's Mrs. Carnes. So in this short video, I wanted to share a little bit about the Drop and Bounce 1 lab. This video is all about the rubric. So just as a reminder, we're answering the question, does the bounciness of a ball change with temperature? You will be using a simulation inside the lesson to complete this part of the assignment. It is designed to be completed in 2 days. This lab report will be submitted and due on September 24th. So the rubric that we'll be using is a little different than the one that's in the course as far as points go. Everything else is exactly the same, but our labs are worth 80 points. So each section of the rubric is worth 20 points. So there's an introduction section. This includes if you would like to get your full point value, you need to have included a clear description of the purpose of the experiment, correctly identified the variables, concepts related to the experiment, and your hypothesis. Okay, so all those things need to be included in the introduction of the lab report. And in my next video, we'll talk about the lab report specifically. Okay, so introduction is part 1. Part 2 of the rubric is experimental methods. This includes a clear description of the tools used to conduct the experiment and how the experiment was conducted. So the tools and the procedure. Now remember, all this is online, but you're still using a ruler, you're still using all the tools, and the procedure needs to be explained as well. Part 3 of the rubric is called Data and Observations. This is where you'll provide those things in an easy to read and interpret way. Include your graph or data table. Both you should have by the end of the uh, experiment procedure process. So you should include both your data table and your graph. Make sure those are labeled appropriately. The last part of the rubric is the conclusion. This is an important part as well. You need to make evidence-based claims about the results of the experiment and then cite or refer back to your data and observations. Include reasoning to support your claims. So more than just, I saw this, I noticed the ball bounced 10 centimeters. Use your feedback use your data to support your claim and your conclusion. Okay, it describes possible sources of error, so make sure that in your conclusion you um, answer that question. What could have gone wrong? Where could an error have occurred? Even if it didn't, what could have happened to make it seem to have made a mistake along the way? All right, so that's the rubric. It's worth 80 points. Let's move forward to the next part of the lesson.